Hi, I'm Sophie. I study primary education with QTS at the University of Roehampton, and I'm a second year student. Today we're going to talk about ways that you can use persuasive public speaking during your time online, whether that's for learning, interviews, or presentations. During my online learning, I've had to be persuasive when sharing presentations with the rest of my cohort, as well as teaching children online. Okay, so my top tip for being persuasive when public speaking online is to use metaphors for your most important points. This helps the listener to process the information and understand it a lot easier. It also helps the listener break it down much easier. Now, if I was to say to you as part of my speech in the middle of a really long piece that it was really hot, it's pretty forgettable. If the speaker was to say, well, it was as hot as the sun on those days of the heat wave when a barbecue was going, immediately it creates a relatable image to the listeners, and that will help them to remember the point, and then you can move on. I am now going to show you my attempt at using metaphors when public speaking online. You might come across having to use metaphors when you're doing an online presentation or part of your studies or assignments. And when used right, metaphors can be really helpful at conveying your point and adding meaning to it. So I've got 30 seconds to present as if I'm delivering my presentation to my grading staff member. And it's going to be on a specific topic, so listen out. The reason I feel that I would be good for this primary school teacher role is due to my behaviour management skills. There have been times where I've been in the classroom and it's felt like I was in a zoo because the children were so loud and noisy, but I've been able to use my behaviour management skills to focus them and bring them back on task and onto their work. There's also been times where it's felt like I've been in a library in the classroom when it's been so quiet, but again I've been able to use my skills to get them to engage in conversation and discuss elements of their work. Now you've seen my example, it's time for you to start thinking about where you could use metaphors in an online presentation. I want to set you the challenge of filming a 30-second challenge of the presentation where the topic is mobile phones should be banned at school completely. You can choose whether you are for or against this topic, but remember, you want the listener to remember the key things that you are trying to say. So think about these things before you start talking, and think of some metaphors that will make it easy for your listeners to remember and visualise. Great, so I hope this top tip has helped you and you'll now feel more confident at using metaphors when speaking persuasively online, whether that's for a virtual interview, a presentation and online learning.